today I'm going to be talking about the AlterG, what it works and what it does, and why I think it's really good for each facility to have this type of equipment. So before we get started, let's talk about what is the AlterG. So the AlterG is a sealed chamber in which air pressure can be altered in a controlled manner to counter out the effects of gravity. And this is just a little quick video I wanted to show just to get an idea of what it is and how it looks. And it's through the AlterG company itself.
If you could alter the forces of gravity precisely, consistently, and safely. Imagine if you had the power to recover sooner and work out smarter. Imagine if you could walk on air. If you had the freedom to run again, to exercise with less impact, to move naturally, pain-free, without the fear of falling. Imagine if you could defy limits and be your best you. AlterG. Defy gravity. Defy limits.
Okay. So that was just a nice overview of how it looks. It does look just like a treadmill, except you just kind of pull it up in this little spacesuit and it fills the whole air up and it reduces that gravity. So what is really great about the AlterG is a lot of people think it's just for lightweight and just for lower extremities only, and that's all it does is just kind of like that nice lightweight for the gait cycle. But it actually is for a variety of patients. It's for people with osteoarthritis. People have found that even people with cerebral palsy, this helps reduce, give positive benefit and feedback. And also, it does give positive results for these patients who use the AlterG. What's great about it is that they actually have this nice little video in the treadmill, so patients could get that good positive feedback, and they could actually correct their form. And on top of that, they could actually see their progress throughout towards the end and see how they've done previously to how they're doing now. So a lot of patients love it, and they also feel really safe in the machine because it does reduce that risk of falling because it takes away that weight. It's also injury preventative. So that's also really good too because they do feel safe and it does reduce that weight so we don't get that stress. And it's not only, like I said, it's good for a variety of patients, and it could be also for athletes who want to help improve their performance. And it is cost effective in the long run, which I will go a little bit later on into this, why. But again, it's used for multiple patients, and a lot of facilities have been now purchasing this equipment because it is cost effective in the long run and it is a good investment. But specifically, I did do some research. I found 3 great research articles for this, and I wanted to find articles that had 3 different types of patients and how the AlterG affected them and impacted them in a positive way. So the first article is about chronic stroke. So this was about a chronic stroke patient, and it was 14.5 months post-stroke. He came in 4 times 4 weeks for a 40-minute session, and they wanted to measure their endurance, fall risk, and perceived recovery post-training. So what they found was that his walking speed actually did slightly improve, but according to the researchers, it wasn't technically as meaningful, so that's why I put down no meaningful change. The tug test, which actually helps see if the patient had any type of increased fall risk. So he started off with a 25.8 seconds, and towards the end, after 1 month only, he got 13.5. So if he got 14 or above, he would indicate a high risk fall. So this showed really good improvement on reduced risk of falls and improved balance. Walking endurance double, lower extremity examination improved, even the stroke impact scale improved. The geriatric depression scale, so this one, technically they said signify a difference because a 5 actually out of 15 is still suggests depression, but because the patient came in with an 8 and came out with a 5 with only 1 month, that shows significant improvement of how the depression scale did actually reduce for the patient. So it really did help overall with walking, balance, and the depression, so their mood also improved with the AlterG. So the second patient was actually a lower limb osteoarthritis. There were actually 20 patients for a 2-year examination, and what they did was they put these patients with a regular treadmill and with the AlterG, and they wanted to measure the intensity, the walking speed, the heart rate, oxygen intake, and calorie consumption. And they wanted to see if the pain overall would reduce and see if there's any other health factors that came with it. And the results for this actually, so there was no change in like oxygen or intensity, but the walking speed actually was faster in the AlterG. And the fact that after treatment with the AlterG versus the regular treadmill actually showed improvement, and they actually had reduced pain in the AlterG using that after treatment always. So that was something that was really nice, and of course the walking speed was also increased, similar to the last article with the stroke patient. So with the children with cerebral palsy, so this study was very interesting because they wanted to see, there were previous studies that showed that the treadmill with the body weight with partially supported to see if it promoted neuroplasticity in the damaged nervous system. So the goal was using the AlterG to see if it helped improve walking abilities, balance, and strength in children with cerebral palsy. They used 9 children. They did a training 2 days per week for 6 weeks, and they measured again the speed, the spatiotemporal kinematics, and the lower extremity strength. So again, what they found was that again the walking speed actually did improve, and they actually did improve their balance and strength in the machines for their lower extremities. What was really interesting, what I found in this study, was that the patients and the family members were really happy coming in. They had really good positive feedback because the patients felt a lot more safe in the AlterG, and they were able to jump, do a single leg stance, all these things that kids love to do that they weren't able to do previously on a treadmill, and that they now, or even without a treadmill, but now they could in the AlterG. So this definitely was a very impactful article. So again, what did all these articles have in common? So with all 3 of these articles, they actually did find that the walking speed was faster, so this means that their gait was improved. They actually had reduced risk of other illnesses, so this was with depression had reduced. With the lower osteoarthritis, they actually had reduced for any type of mental health issues and cardiovascular or obesity. And again, with the children, they reduced those risk of falls. So, and they also showed improved balance and reduced risk of falls. All the articles showed that, and again, that positive feedback on those patients. So very happy patients. Osteoarthritis had no pain, reduced pain, so that was very good. And the stroke patient, their depression reduced. And for the children, they showed really positive feedback in the AlterG. So again, I know with cost and everything like that, some people still use the harnesses and AlterG. So what makes the AlterG a little bit better maybe? I think overall for the patients, it benefits them very well because it's a lot more comfortable. Like we saw in the video, it has like this elastic component of the material for the pants. So it's really easy to slip on versus the harness where they have that pressure points and pulling on that stress. So what's nice is like the pants actually don't have any of that stress, and you just kind of come on and you just zip up and the air just fills up and they're ready to go. And it's safer, and it actually has a lot more benefits for the patients. So that is something that I found really interesting. Again, with the cost, so it is a little bit up in the price between $35,000 and $75,000, but it is a good investment because, again, like I said previously, it works with a variety of patients. And on top of that, like NovaCare and Athletico have been using it because patients that come in now, they could either, if they were just post-patient and they lost their insurance, for instance, but they still want to continue their training to help with their injury, they could just come in, maybe pay $15 and use the AlterG for 15 minutes. So it really does help promote more people into the facility as well. And again, it is now becoming more reputable that it has so many benefits, so people really want to come in and take advantage of this machine. Again, just as a recap for everything, it does work with a variety of patients, and like 3 articles I said, it does stroke, cerebral palsy, and osteoarthritis. So it's not only with people with lower limb injuries. Again, positive results, they get that visual feedback to see how they're doing. Injury preventative, they feel a lot safer because it does reduce a lot of that weight and stress. And it could also be used for athletes who want to train and condition. Cost effective in the long run because, again, this machine, you just need one machine. It uses for multiple patients. And then again, people could come in, if they're even not a patient, just to come in and just use the machine to train, even after therapy. And it's actually easy to set up, and it's very safe and comfortable for the patient. So, if you still don't believe me, there is actually a lot of research that has been done. There's multiple upon multiple case studies on the actual AlterG website, and they show protocols, and there's even a clinical training portal. So this helps patients, for the clinicians to see updates, how their patients are doing, but also feedback for patients to see, again, how they're doing, and they get that video feedback as well. And lastly, so here are my resources, and I also have this lovely brochure that the company itself, AlterG website, created. So it's a nice little pamphlet brochure, and it kind of just gives a nice summary of how this machine benefits patients, what else does it do, how it works, and actually on the back here it gives you an easy step to use it. It's literally only 5 steps to set up the machine, super easy. And fun fact, it was actually originally for NASA. So what I actually like, let me read you this quote here. So in fact, the AlterG is only unweighting device that allows you to exercise at a reduced body weight while maintaining normal running and walking mechanics. So that is something really cool about the AlterG. And then I also have this nice handout that I created, just patients that have benefited in the past from this. And again, same thing, a nice easy step tool of how to use the AlterG in 5 steps. So that is it. So does anyone have any questions? If you do, please feel free to ask me. I'll be really happy to answer any questions that you might have. But other than that, I hope you have a good day. Thank you.